James Scott Skinner was obviously a fantastic performer with a fearsome technique. He was also charismatic, but he was also a man at the right place in the right time. In previous centuries, Highlanders had been regarded with fear, but during the Victorian period, they were great heroes of the British Empire, being in the thick of it right across the globe. Tied in with Queen Victoria's love of the Highlands, having moved up to Balmoral for her summer holidays, and a love of all things tartan, Skinner became the height of fashion. Well, while I'm here in the music hall, I thought I'd play another couple of tunes. Skinner was well known for writing these kind of showboat and technical pieces to show off his ability. So I thought I'd play a couple more of these. The first one is The Mathematician, which is a hornpipe, and then The Hurricane, which is a reel. Now, James, in the second half of his career, was touring extensively. Actually, he took part in a number of different concert parties, including one with Sir Harry Lauder, who was best known music hall performer of his day. Actually, played at the London Palladium with him, so kind of quite high end performances. But he had his own concert party as well. Various folk took part in that, including his son Manson. At one of these performances, which was reviewed by, I think it was the Aberdeen Journal, that is now the Press and Journal, but at the time it was the Aberdeen Journal, and it said, "Surely Mr. Skinner is the king of Strathspey players." Well, James liked the sound of that because he would promote himself as the Strathspey king from then on until the end of his career. One of the most successful bits of branding I think you could probably get, because it was still calm that nearly a century after he died. So anyway, the Strathspey king. This is Tulchin. No, it's not Tulchin Lodge. It's the Brigabtar. Followed by the mains of Gartley, usually played together because they go so well together. Well, I'm in Aberlour on the banks of Spey, where Skinner and his wife and family lived early on in their marriage. By 1884, Skinner was bankrupt, and it wouldn't be the only time. He wasn't very good with money, and this possibly was partly the reason that Jean was admitted to the Elgin Asylum for what was described as nervous exhaustion. Possibly something to do with it. Although James was certainly charismatic, could be great company, sociable, and he liked a dram. He could be very temperamental, he had a fiery temper, and was prone to black moods when things weren't going very right. So she was admitted, and she would never come out of there. I think it's probably, if it would be termed nowadays, as depression. And so she was there till the end of her life in 1899. Temperamental kind of character, Skinner. There's stories about him stopping mid-tune and telling the audience to stop tapping their feet too loudly. And on another occasion, he supposedly stopped. He said, big bold statement, he refused to cast his pearls before swine and then walked off the stage. So it's a bit much, really, but don't know why. That's the kind of the boy he was. Graham Wilson, who was a businessman for Bankery, told me a story about him, that his mother, when she was a child, bid at the firm a new Bankery. Now the farmhouse there is now Scott Skinner's pub. Her father was a farmer and was friendly with Skinner, and Skinner would come and visit when he was visiting the town. And she said sometimes he was there and he'd been a great mood. He'd be sitting, he'd be in a dram, there'd be laughter, and he would eventually say, "Come on, give me a bump on the piano," and she would accompany him, and they would play for hours. Other times she was warned not to go near him. You daren't go near him. He'd be sitting glowering into the fire, nursing a dram just with a black look in his face. So certainly a temperamental character.